Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 2 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 13, also known as Locomotion. And this is the first of two train levels in this game, and by far this one is the one that is fun. This is actually one of my favorite levels in the game overall, because the first time I played this game, this was the level that really stood out to me. It's beautiful in its game design. You see the geography surrounding the train tracks really detailed. Absolutely amazing. But it can also be a bit frustrating, because progressing between these train carts, sometimes the controls aren't quite there. They aren't as precise as you would like them to be in a situation like this. Because if you jump a little bit too soon, you may run the risk of falling off, or sometimes he may jump straight out into the jungle, and that is an instant kill state. But if you stay careful and don't make any stupid moves, you will survive, and you will hopefully have as much fun with this level as I've had. And the other problem coming in to this level, which is also concerning the platforming, is that this level has environmental hazards. You will see later on in the level there are these big stoplights, train lights, whatever they're called. Big metal girders coming over the train and at one point on the side of the train. And that's when the platforming can troll you. Because as I said, it's not as exact as you'd want it to be. I died quite a few times on those segments, just due to the fact that it's a bit of an awkward camera angle, and you need to move quite fast. You remember in one of the previous episodes when I had a hard time moving up the sign? I think it's in chapter 12, actually. Well, this is the same thing, but the problem here is that if you don't move fast enough, you will die. But all in all, it's a really fun level, and don't get scared by this guy coming in through the window. He always shows up. I don't know if there is a way to bypass him if you head up for the roof instead of going through the cart, maybe. I actually have no idea, because I have always gone on the inside. But one thing I also like about this level, as you saw, I went into a firefight. I got spotted and had to shoot the guys instead of just killing them stealthily. But the good thing is that that doesn't alert the guys on the next cart. I don't know if that's consistent for this mission, or it's just this sequence, since it was a concealed area or a closed area. But I think it's really fun, because even if you mess up a little bit, you still get a chance to take a stealthier approach further on. And now, this is quite fun. There is a big turret in the next train cart. See him? And he loves shooting. The best part about that turret is the fact that turrets in these games, as you may know, can turn 360 degrees. They have a very limited area of effect, or very limited area where they can move. And I'm gonna use that to my advantage to get in behind him and kill him without him even knowing I was there until it's too late. So I jump out on the side of this cart. I'm gonna move over on this side. I'm quite sure that he has spotted me in that cart. He's completely focused on me being there. And don't hang in front of the entrance to the train cart. You will get your ball shot off. That's his grand prize at the carnival. He's aiming for your nutsack, so get out of the way fast. Because turret doesn't have that much of a damage output. The gun is really nerfed. But it has an extremely high rate of fire, so if you end up and take a clean hit from one of his bursts, you will die either way. Even though it takes a few bullets, you're still dead. But now I move over the roof of the train, because he is completely focused on me being at the other end of it. So I can just sneak down here, go in, break his neck, and then I pulverize his friend. And a few extra bullets for good measure, just to make sure that he's completely dead. So don't have a Monty Python moment, you know, one of those, I'm not quite dead. And here comes another guy. We pulverize him as well. I was a bit frustrated actually. It took me a few tries to get to realize I could do it this way, and that's why I put those extra bullets in him while he was lying on the ground. But those guys are dead, and now we're introduced to the environmental hazards. You hear that train bell? Well, here you're gonna see a metal girder with blinking lights on it. Whenever that shows up, hang off the left side of the train, never on the right side, because there is the pole that keeps it up. And here you get to see what happens if you don't move. Very synchronized death. I wonder if they had been practicing. It looked a bit Olympic actually. Quite impressed. But whenever those show up, either duck down on the front or the back of a train cart, or on the left side. Always the left side. And this is the part I was talking about that can become very frustrating. Because you need to move over this pipe and jump up to that vent, and you need to be quick about it. And this is one of those moments where, due to the camera angle, this is made unnecessarily hard, because sometimes you will just be sitting there, Nate will doing his little stretchy arm move, he doesn't jump properly, and the light hits you and you're dead. But I think there is a checkpoint just before that moment. I did it first try on my recording run. I'm very pleased about that. But if you just prosper and don't give up, don't get frustrated, it's the game's fault, it's not your fault, and then you will persevere. And now we have these three little fellas, and this is standard, business as usual. Use the blind fire to take out the first guy. I think I use blind fire to take out the second guy as well. No? He's hiding. I wasn't quite sure if he was dead or not. So I thought to myself that I would focus on the other guy, and then suddenly he pops up like a... What's those? Remember those clowns in a box? Whatever they're called. You turn a little crank wheel and it plays a little melody, and a clown puppet jumps out and traumatizes you for the rest of your life. Thanks a lot. That is sadistic children's toy. Who came up with that? But now we're in the second phase of this level, and an attack helicopter has decided to join the party. And the primary function of this helicopter is to stress you and to force you to push up constantly. Because he doesn't damage you that much, and when you move on from one train car to another, you'll hear that buzzing sound like a turbine going up in speed. That is the signal that he is preparing to fire rockets, and he will destroy the train cart behind you. I'm not quite sure if it is a timed thing, so that if you hang around for too long and don't progress, that he will blow up the train cart you're sitting on. It has never happened to me, not that I can remember either way. Or anyway. Wow, close. You're supposed to progress on this train cart on the left side. I've forgotten about that. Wow. Anyway, his primary function is to stress you and to force you to push up. But don't be afraid, he's not the biggest threat in this area actually. He's just a nuisance, trying to be big and impressive with his big hunk-a-junk of metal. But spoiler alert, we are gonna take him out in the next level. But this is coming up close to the end right now. We need to get into that train cart so we can fire a rocket launcher. And these guys, they are not very willing to let you come in there. And I can understand that, because they know if they let you in, they will die in the process. Either you will shoot them, or Lazarowicz will probably kill them if they were to flee and leave the train behind. But this is a great spot to sit behind, because you're covered from, or you're safe from the helicopter due on that big, what is that, an ammo crate on the right. And you're safe from the soldiers due to those big steel pipes in front of you. So you can sit here, let your life bar refill. When the game becomes monochrome, you know that you're close to death, so just hang around until the colors come back, and then we can move on. So we start running, try to pick up some good ammo, or if you want to change your weapon. I recommend using an assault rifle going into the next level. Do not use a shotgun. I miss my first rocket, which was terribly bad, because I have a helicopter straight in front of me. But luckily for me, I get another shot. I switch over to an AK, I think. No? No, I'm going for the M4. Good choice. Good choice of weapon. And now all that remains is turning this crank wheel. That helicopter is still stressing you a little bit. Never mind him. He's overcompensating for something. And now we've beaten chapter 13. Everything becomes very dramatic. Little Die Hardish cutscene. Remember Die Hard 3? And that is the end of the level. So I want to thank you very much for watching. And I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.